Hello everybody. All two of you. There's some lions eating. Good day, good day. So they're eating a warthog. The lioness here and the sub-adults that are eating just stole it from two other lionesses of the pride. They chased off. Now they're all busy finishing it off. It was still alive when we arrived here. It's not anymore. Hopefully everybody's doing beautifully out there. It is very windy, and I've got the camera inside the car for less wind, and it's still not helping. But it's always windy in the Mara. Did it take long for the hog to die? Not after they started eating. The two lionesses that had it before these ones started had actually started feeding on its back legs while it was still alive. And then the big lioness that's here came in, chased those two off and properly throttled the warthog. And then all the cubs came in, or sub-adults came in and started eating. So it's gone from a whole warthog to very little in the last couple of minutes. What time is it over here? Anybody know? Okay, Jackson tells me it's 10 past 10, 11 past 10 in the morning. So this is breakfast time for them.
Yeah.
So what happened to the signal? There's a couple of young males there, not all females. It's all the youngsters are what, a year old?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one
6 months.
6 year and 6 months, 18 months. So it's one big female and then 5 youngsters.
Two males and 3 females.
Okay. Pretty hungry. Those of you that have been following the updates on Facebook and Instagram and all of that, this is the group of the Enkoyonai pride, sorry my mouth is not working, that was with Lolpapit yesterday. He's not with them anymore, he's on a buffalo with some young boys from the Fig Tree pride. I think the reason he's not with them is because as it's only one adult female, they're not going to be able to catch anything big enough for him to feed. I mean, look how quickly they're going through this warthog. You know, he's old and slow. By the time he caught up, there would be nothing left for him. So he's better off with that big carcass with the young boys the other side of the river. Rain coming in, yeah, it rained last night, it'll rain later today by the looks of it. There's quite a bit of cloud. It is the short rainy season here now. Now last year in the Mahara, the short rainy season lasted until the long rainy season, so we had all sorts of floods and all sorts of mess, and the roads were impassable most of the time, all the rivers were uncrossable. This year it shouldn't rain so much. Whose birthday is it? Mark. Happy birthday, Mark. We lost signal. The river always has some water, leave water for the animals. In other areas like the Kruger National Park, where I film quite a bit, yes, there are water holes for the animals in the drought there. Thank you for watching all my videos, Mark. Have a great birthday. In a big pride, do they ever make more than one kill at a time? Yes, yes they do. Especially during the migration here, the pride may run into a herd of wildebeest and kill 2 or 3 in one go. It just depends how many of the lionesses are hunting or how many lions are in the pride in total. It's not unusual at all to have them make more than one kill in a go. Do the lions eat the intestines with the dung in it? When they eat the intestines, they usually squeeze the dung out as they eat the intestines, like you're squeezing the stuffing out of a sausage. That's how they'll feed there. And hyenas around, there are, I can see them in the distance. When there are only 2 lionesses here at the beginning, they were a little bit closer. But now there's more, they've moved off a little bit. Will the one warthog be enough for the 5 of them? It'll be enough to keep them going today, but they may want to hunt again later. Is warthog their favourite? Not particularly, but at this time of the year, once the wildebeest have moved out of the area, it's one of their staple diets. It is a bit dangerous. The one lioness that did catch it earlier did get a tusk in her leg. Nothing serious, but I'm sure it's a bit sore. You know, they would prefer larger prey. So if there were still zebras around, they'd like to go for zebras. Topies are a bit fast, so if they could take down a buffalo, they'd be happy as well. Sorry, signal went. The young males get old enough to leave. Usually the big males, the pride males, will push them out, not the mothers. So if the pride males are tolerant of the young males, they will stay around. The previous generation of cubs in this pride, there were 5, 6 young males actually that stayed around until very recently. In fact, we saw 2 of them still hanging around with the pride last week. The males on patrol are in the area. I'm not sure where one of the males is. The other one, Lol Parpet, getting old and thin, he's on a buffalo kill somewhere else. But where Albanotti, the fit male of the 2 territorial males, is, I'm not sure. He may turn up randomly as we're watching. The pride is the Enkoyonai pride. Youngsters run off with the leg there. See very, very little left now. The alpha male won't kill teenage males that belong to them. No, they want to ensure that their genes are spread on. So they will push them out, but they won't kill them. They will kill young males that don't belong to them. If they join a pride, take over a pride, and there's youngsters, young males, and they're not big enough to be chased off completely, they will be killed. Same with the young females, actually. They don't discriminate between sexes of cubs when they take over a pride. If they're not old enough to breed, they won't be left. They want all the cubs to belong to them when they take over a pride. Do the lions heat up too much? When it's really hot, it's quite windy today, so yeah, they'll not be too bothered. It's not direct sunlight. But on a really hot day, yes, they overheat. You'll see them sitting and panting in the shade. And the other question was, what time is the best time to go on game drive? When it's cooler, there's usually more activity, but there's not a hard and fast rule. Sometimes we can be out in the middle of the day on a hot day and still see action. So it's better for us to be out when it's cooler, but not 100% that you're going to see more action in the morning or in the evening than you will in the middle of the day. Don't know why we keep losing signal like that. We've got a strong signal where it is. Let's move it across a little bit and see what's going on. I think it's YouTube servers rather than our signal, because the other day we did a stream on Facebook and we didn't have any of these connectivity problems. How many in this pride? I think in total it's 13 now. All the youngsters and lionesses in total, but they're very seldom all together now, plus 2 big males. And someone was asking about inbreeding. Not really. It's very seldom that big males will stay territorial long enough for their daughters to be old enough to mate with. It does happen occasionally, but it's seldom. However, overall, the gene flow between populations isn't that good. You'll find young males will leave this pride and take over another pride, and then their youngsters will come and join this pride further down. But we only find a problem with birth defects and so on when it's brother and sister mating, or mother and son, father and daughter. So distant cousins, not too bad, but it does mean that the genetics are fairly stagnant. Do they eat the bones? Also, they'll crush the bones. You'll see that's what they're actually doing on the ribs now. Get the marrow on the inside, seeing there's not much meat left. Usually the male lion eats first and then the pride. Yeah, if the male's there when the pride make the kill, he will dominate the kill. He doesn't care how much he leaves for the rest of the pride, he cares that he's full. So often if the male's around, they catch something small like a warthog, the male may eat the entire thing and the females have to go off and hunt for something else. Do lions see more far at night than in the day? No, but they do see well at night. They are able to see in the dark, but certainly not better than they can see in the day. They can see much better in the day because there's more light to see with. Just one warthog. Do I think the lions will be satisfied? It'll keep them going for today, maybe tomorrow. It's just a snack really, but outside of the migration season in the Mara, they often do survive on just snacks. The signal dropped again. Which pride are these from? I've actually written the pride name in the description, so I don't have to keep on chewing my tongue saying Enkoyonai. It is the Enkoyonai pride. Do they hunt elephants? No, these pride don't hunt elephants, although they did eat an elephant that died earlier this year. How old are Lolparpit and Albanoti? They are 15 and a half. They'll be 16 next year, if they make it to next year. In the wild and those at zoos, which ones live longer? If they're well looked after in a zoo, which not all zoos do, if they're well looked after in a zoo, they can live over 20 years. In the wild, 15 years is incredibly old. So the two old boys in this pride are very old. Lionesses will live a bit longer. Lionesses might make it to 18 perhaps, but average for a male lion is only 10 to 12 years. Obviously, for it to be an average, some must live longer and some must live shorter. What's going on with the light there? It's flickering quite a bit. Finished. Okay, just need to change the memory card in the other camera because the other camera's finished. They are still in. They are almost in control of this pride at 15. The pride is very scattered at the moment. There are young males pushing into the area, so we don't expect the old boys to hold on that much longer, unfortunately for them. Signal bouncing again. There are instances of sons pushing their fathers away from the pride. I'm sure there are, but I can't think of any. What we often see is when the young males move out, it's usually at the time older males will lose control of the pride to new males anyway. So yeah, I'm sure it doesn't happen very often, but it probably has happened. Just can't think of any instances right now. Are there any young males here? Two of the lions are young males here, and one adult female, 3 young females. They eat everything, Jerry. All of it. All that's going to be left behind is perhaps the stomach.
Yes, leaves they can eat the skin.
Most of them have gone to sit and digest now. These two seem like they've got full bellies, but they don't want to give up the last scraps of meat to either of themselves. Do they ever get sick from drinking dirty water? They're basically immune to it. They get used to it because they drink it all the time. They build up the antibodies to be able to deal with that dirty water. If we as humans drank dirty water all the time, it wouldn't make us sick anymore. But we don't get exposed to those germs all the time, so we don't have any resistance to it, which is why we do get sick when we drink dirty water. Do they get sick from... Signal went again there. Yes, lions can catch TB from eating TB-infected buffalo and other animals, and they can catch anthrax from eating animals with anthrax, and I'm sure other diseases can be passed on that way as well. They do acquire parasites, yes. Yes, lions have a lot of parasites, but again, it's something that their bodies get used to. It doesn't affect them too much. When's the last time I've never seen a honey badger in the Mara, but I'm sure Jackson has. Jackson, you have never seen a honey badger?
No.
That's insane. So Jackson's here every day, his whole life, and he has never seen a honey badger in the Mara. You can see the young male's picked up there. All that's left is the head and the spine and a little bit of the ribs. There's not a lot of meat left. How do they take care of serious wounds from hunting? Lions are extremely resilient when they get you know, punches and scratches, and you know, as long as they eat well, they'll heal well. And it's one of the benefits of being in a pride is that if they're a little bit slow, the others can hunt them. As long as they get there to eat, then they can recover quickly. Someone was talking about how the intestines get eaten. That young lioness on the side there, she's eating the intestines now, and you'll see she's facing away from us, unfortunately, but she basically eats on one side of her mouth and squeezes the dung out to the side as she eats the actual intestine itself. Do lions eat other lions? Occasionally, yes. Meat is meat. It's not something that they go out looking for, obviously. We completely lost the stream there. Where were we? Do the lions ever recognize? I don't think so. Maybe. Obviously not these lions. I don't spend enough time with them, but maybe if a person was to spend all their time with a particular group of lions and talk all the time, they would probably get used to their voice and recognize them. Certainly recognize the smell of an individual person if they were there all the time. Are lions immune to COVID? I don't know. I know of some instances, I think in a zoo in the US, where some of the big cats tested positive for COVID there. Here, to get into the park, you have to show a negative certificate, so nobody should be passing COVID onto the lions. We're socially distanced enough from them, they are far away from us, so we're not going to be sneezing and coughing on top of them anyway. The crocodiles eat bones, and they've got an extremely strong digestive system, very strong stomach acids. Anything that gets swallowed gets broken down by the acid. Simple as that. Someone was also saying about a lioness that's got her jaw broken or something. Interesting. Yeah. Can't scroll back through the comments, but there was something about lioness with a broken jaw. If a lion breaks its jaw, it can't eat, it will die. There's nothing can be done there. Well, the hyenas keeping their social distance, they're lying in the grass probably 500 meters away now. I can't see them anymore. Average lifespan of lions, 10 to 12 for a male, 16 to 18 for a female. Obviously, that's just an average. It can vary in different areas between different prides. There's still a lot of poaching happening in the area. In the Mara itself, there's not a lot of poaching. Around the conservancies, there's been recent incidences of snares being set for bushmeat. Traditionally, the local people don't eat bushmeat. The amount of snares may be as a result of the pandemic shutting down tourism to the area, shutting down the meat markets where people sell their food, so they've had to go and get food in the bush. But overall, the Mara is a fairly safe place for the animals. Has the pandemic had a big impact on travel to the area? Yes. Yes, there was no international travel until, when did it open? 15th? Sorry, we lost you there. From March, there's been very little. Tourism is starting to pick up here in Kenya. I don't think South Africa will pick up until next year. Do hippos actually eat meat? Yes, they do. I think there's a video on my channel somewhere of a hippo eating an impala. It's not something they eat on a regular basis. They are mainly herbivores, but if there's meat there, they'll sometimes take it. How is Earless doing? Don't think anybody's seen him for how many months?
Many months.
Many months. I think since last year maybe. Did cheetah practice infanticide? I don't think so. I don't think there's enough cheetah for them to have to worry about that. They don't come into contact with one another enough for new males to have to kill cubs of previous males. Females pretty much stick to themselves unless they want to mate. They don't associate with the males. Well, thanks for watching, Johnny. Thanks for your nice comment. Be another coalition like the no two coalitions are alike, so no. It's dropped again. I'm actually going to wrap up now. Just eating the scraps. We need to move on to other things. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. Oh, one more question. Overall wildlife numbers in South Africa growing, declining? They're pretty much stable. And the hottest it gets here in the Mara, 40 degrees. But anyway, we are leaving. Thank you, everybody, and goodbye to all of you. Find the button to turn it off.